Hello. Hello, everybody. This is some old guy with MS. I'm sorry I didn't get the video out yesterday, but there were lots of complications yesterday. So today is better than nothing. I might try and do another video a little bit later this week. I actually think I will. Anyway, this video, as the title indicates, is my personal reaction to a old movie called The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. It's a black and white 1948 movie. It stars Humphrey Bogart. From the movies I've seen so far, Humphrey Bogart seems to excel at playing assholes, really. Creeps and assholes. But he does it very well. This movie, The Treasure of the Sierra Madres, is no different. Humphrey Bogart's character, I don't remember the character's name. I think it was something Dobbs, but yeah, I don't really remember. Anyway, that character is a bit of a selfish prick asshole. So this is the gist of the story. His character is down and out in Mexico. And it seems there are lots of other Americans around, and most of them are also down and out. But anyway, so Humphrey Bogart's character begs for money off of other Americans. And there's this one, he gives them a peso so that he can get something to eat and stay in a flop house basically for the night. And he keeps begging and begging. And he hits on the same American character all the time, basically, because he gives him money. So this guy says, look, I'll give you a peso. Can I give you another peso? To get you to quit bugging me. Don't ask anymore. So he gets something to eat, goes and stays in this flop house, and gets talking to this other guy. And they sort of talk to or overhear this third character talking about gold up in the mountains, and if he was younger or if he had the money, he'd go prospecting. So then the next day, Humphrey Bogart's character goes out begging again, and he begs from this one guy who says, well, I won't give you any money, but I'll give you a job if you want it. I'm recruiting people. You find someone else, and I'll give them a job too. So he gets this guy he met in the flop house, and they both go and work for this guy. And I think they're working on an oil rig or a mine or something like that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're gone for I think 2 weeks. And of course, they don't get paid. They get paid at the end of the contract. So they finally finish the 2 weeks, come back to town, and the guy says, yeah, I'll just let me go get the money. I haven't been paid yet either. So let me go see the guy, get the money, and I'll come back and pay everyone. So he buggers off and actually isn't seen again. So he's scamming them, right? But then it just so happens, a couple of days later or a week later, Humphrey Bogart and his buddy see this guy in a bar, and he's trying to, talk his way out of it and all that. So what happens is they beat him up and relieve him of their pay. What would be their final pay. And and along with all this, when Humphrey Bogart's got that 2 pesos, there's a kid that bugs him to buy a lottery ticket. So he, he's got some money. So he says, yeah, okay. And he buys a lottery ticket. But that was way back when. So now, anyway, they beat this guy up and take their pay, right? And then they're thinking, yeah, geez, what should we do? Because, they're like, we can live fine for a little while until the pay runs out or until the money they got from working runs out. But then what? And the friend says, well, remember that guy that was talking about gold and prospecting and that? He says, maybe we should find him and, go prospecting. And then I think the little kid sees Humphrey Bogart and says, your ticket won. You won. You won some money. So they're feeling quite good. So they go find the old guy and tell him they have a stake. And he says, okay, let's go prospecting. And so they get some pack mules and supplies and shovels and picks and all that sort of stuff, and head up into the mountains. And the old prospector, he's he actually is quite agile and gets them up fairly easily. And so these other two are huffing and puffing and sweating, but they make it, and they get quite high up into the mountains. And the old prospector says, well, I think this is the spot. And the other two wolves are like, well, what? No, wait a minute. Guys are going up. The other two see this rock with what looks like gold in it. So they call the prospector back and they say, look what we found. We found gold and all that. So the prospector looks at it and it goes, yeah, you found what's called fool's gold. So not real gold. So they keep going, and then they get to a spot, and the prospector says, I think this is the place we should set up camp and start working the ground. And the other two are like, why? And the prospector sort of kicks the dirt, and he says, look at that. Look at that dirt. And they look, and they go, yeah, so? And the prospector says, there's gold in that dirt. And he gets, a pan and pans it out. And, there are a few flecks of gold. But when looking for gold, a few flecks is pretty damn good. So anyway, they set up camp. They start mining. They somehow, I don't know where, but get all this water to run like a sluice thing, and they collect the gold. And I mean, I don't know, but I guess it kind of looks just like sand. But anyway, they collect what they figure would be about $30,000 each. So $90,000 worth of gold. And no, wait a minute. More than that. Yeah, it was more than that. Must have been 40 each. Yeah, I don't remember. But there's this other American prospector or whatever. He comes up and he wants to join them. And they don't want him to join. Especially Humphrey Bogart's character, who is basically an asshole. And this other American says, well, have you staked a claim? And they go, no. And he says, well, I can go anywhere I want in these mountains, and I want to go right here. So you can shut me out and let me do my own thing right here, or you can let me join you. And I don't want any of portion of what you already caught. We'll just split 4 ways what we get afterwards. And they're thinking about it, and then he goes, well, kind of just camp down a little bit down the hill from you. And then there are these bandits, because of all this activity up in the hill. They figure it's American smugglers, or they've got guns or something. So the bandits, they yell up, we're federales. We just want to check that you got the right equipment and the right paperwork. So one of them says, show us your badges. And they yell back, badges? We don't have to show you any friggin' badges. And then the gunfight ensues. And the end result of it is the bandits are driven away, but the guy that was going to join them, well, I guess not really, gets shot. So the other 2 characters, like they go through his stuff and all that, and bury him, and they see that he had a girlfriend or a fiance or something like that back in the States somewhere, and he was going to make some money and then get married. So the other 2 characters decide to give this woman what would be his quarter. And Humphrey Bogart's character is very, very much against this. But that's what they figure they'll do. Oh yeah, then a native tribe, I guess they're Indian, they come and they have a cigarette. No, they have a smoke with them. And the old prospector, he can speak, Mexican, whereas Humphrey Bogart and the other one can't. So these Indians come and have a smoke with all of them. Then they tell the prospector that there's a little boy who fell in the water, and they thought he had drowned, but they pulled him out of the water. He's breathing, but kind of like paralyzed. And they want a doctor or something to come and help. So the old prospectors he agrees to go help. So he goes back to their village, sees the boy, and he later says that he did some Boy Scout sort of first aid and medicine to the little boy, and he came to, and the village is really, really grateful. So the old prospector comes back and they pack everything up. They've got little bags of this gold, gold dust, I guess, or looks like dust or sand or whatever, and they put it in these little bags and then into these things on the side of the burrows, and they start heading back down the mountain, and they run into the native villagers again, and they want the prospector to come and celebrate with them. And the three Americans are, no, we gotta go down the hill. And the natives become quite insulted that he wouldn't come and celebrate. So the old prospector says, well, you two go down the hill, take my burros and my share with you, and I'll catch up with you in the town. And he goes to the Indian village. So on the way down, Humphrey Bogart's character is complaining all the way, saying that they got stuck carrying or shepherding his quarter, his third, down the hill, and they really shouldn't do that. They should get paid for it, or they should just bugger off and forget about him. And the other guy, who is quite nice, says, no, we're not doing that. We're doing what we said. We'll take his share down to the town and wait for him. And then Humphrey Bogart's character thinks the other guy is going to steal everything for himself, which of course he isn't. So he does that instead to beat him to it, right? So I think the other guy ends up getting killed. So he's bringing all this stuff into town by himself. And the bandits catch up with him and steal it, right? And they're heading to town. And they look at all these little bags of, what looks like sort of sand. And they don't know it's gold. They don't know it has any value. And just outside of town in the ruins, in some ruins, they dump it all on the dirt, on the ground, and, go into town to sell the burros. And then someone figures out that they were, well, there's a brand on them, I don't quite know, but they figure out they were stolen. And then the prospector comes back, and I think the partner that I said got killed. Well, he's not dead, and he meets up with. Is he dead or not dead? I don't remember. But anyway, the prospector comes to town, meets up with one of them. They see the burrows, and the prospector asks, What about the bags that were on the burrows? Where's all that?" And there's a little boy that says, "Oh, I heard they dumped it out by the ruins because they thought you just put sand in them to make the burrows heavier when you sold them. Can they go back? And of course, the wind has blown everything away. So there's nothing left. And that's it. And the prospector, he starts laughing and laughing and laughing. And he goes, "Well, it turns out to be a huge joke on us. And the mountains have got their gold back." So he says, "I'm going to go back to that Indian village and be their medicine man." And the other one says he's going to go see that guy's girlfriend or whatever and tell her what happened. Anyway, it was a good movie. I liked it. I really liked the movie. I hated Humphrey Bogart's character. Just a complete asshole jerk. But it was a good movie. And the prospector, he was a great guy. I really liked him. Anyway, it is a classic, and it is well worth watching. Yeah, that was kind of a long. Well, anyway, it was a good movie, and it deserves a. You should watch it. But I think that's about all I got to say about that. I think I might. Well, I've got 3 movies. 3 Days of the Condor, which I watched just recently, but I think I'll watch it again and do a review of it. Or not a review, a reacts to video on that. Anyway, that's about it. I think I'll wrap it up. So please, if you like any of these, subscribe. Well, whether you do or you don't. Subscribe, comment, share, like, and whatever. Thank you very much for watching. End communication. Okay, this part is not for you. Stop. Start listening. Mouse grid. 8, 8, 1. Click. Mouse grid. 8, 3, 3. Click. Bye-bye.